The Little Mermaid. Written by Hans Christian Andersen. Deep in the ocean, the water is as blue as the sky. It is very deep and very beautiful. At the bottom of the sea, there is a big castle made of coral and gold. The Sea King lives here. He is a widower. He does not have a wife. He lives with his mother and his 6 daughters. The king's mother is very old and very wise. She is proud of her family. She wears 12 oysters on her tail to show she is important. She looks after the young princesses. The princesses are all beautiful mermaids. They do not have legs. They have long fish tails. The youngest daughter is the Little Mermaid. She is the most beautiful. Her skin is clear and her eyes are blue like the deep sea. These beautiful mermaids have a wonderful home. Inside the castle, everything is different from the world of people. The castle is very open. Fish swim through the amber windows. They are like small birds in a house. The little princesses love the fish. They feed them from their hands and pet them. Around the castle, there is a big garden. The trees are red and dark blue. The leaves move in the water. The fruit on the trees shines like gold. The flowers look like small fires. On the ground, the sand is light blue. Everything looks blue and magical. In the water, the sun looks like a big purple flower with bright light. Each princess has a small garden. They can plant flowers there. One princess makes her garden in the shape of a whale. Another princess makes her garden like a mermaid. The Little Mermaid is different. She is quiet and thoughtful. Her garden is round, like the sun. She has red flowers there. She also has one special thing, a beautiful marble statue of a boy. The statue fell from a broken ship a long time ago. She looks at her red flowers and her statue, and she dreams about the world above. The Little Mermaid loves one thing more than anything: stories about people. Her grandmother tells her many stories about ships, cities, and animals. On land, the flowers have a beautiful smell, the grandmother says. The forests are green, and the fish on the trees sing very loudly. The grandmother calls birds fish because the mermaids do not know what birds are. When you are 15, the grandmother promises, you can swim to the surface. You can sit on the rocks and see the big ships, the forests, and the cities. The oldest sister is 15 this year. The other sisters must wait. The Little Mermaid must wait the longest, 5 more years. She is very patient, but she is also very sad. At night, she stands by the window and looks up through the blue water. She sees the moon and the stars. They look big but blurry, not clear. Sometimes a dark shadow moves above her. Is it a whale? Or is it a ship with people? She thinks. She stretches her white hands up to the ship, but the people cannot see her. Finally, the oldest princess is 15. She swims up to the top. When she comes back, she has many stories. The best thing, she says, is to lie on the sand in the moonlight. I saw a big city. There were many lights, like stars. I heard music and the sounds of people. I heard bells from the tall buildings. The Little Mermaid listens to every word. She wants to see the city too. Next year, the second sister goes to the surface. She swims up during the sunset. The sky was like gold, she says. The clouds were purple and violet. I saw a group of white birds, wild swans. They flew toward the sun. It was beautiful. But then the sun went down and the pink light disappeared. The third sister is very brave. She swims into a big river. She sees green hills and beautiful forests. She hears the birds sing. The sun is very hot, so she often dives into the cold water. In the river, she sees small children. They are playing in the water. They do not have tails, but they can swim. The princess wants to play with them, but a small black animal appears. It is a dog. The dog barks, "Woof, woof." The princess is afraid because she does not know what a dog is. She swims back to the sea. The fourth sister is not very brave. She stays in the middle of the ocean. It is the best place, she tells her sisters. The sky looks like a big glass cup over the water. I saw ships, but they were very far away. I saw happy dolphins and big whales. The whales made fountains of water. The fifth sister has a birthday in winter. She sees something different. Ice. The ocean was green, she says. I saw mountains of ice. They look like big white pearls, but they are taller than buildings. They shine like diamonds. She sits on a big piece of ice. Her long hair moves in the wind. The sailors on the ships look at her, and they are afraid. The older sisters can swim to the surface every day now. Soon, they are not excited anymore. It is beautiful there, they say, but home is the best place. Sometimes, at night, the 5 sisters swim together. They have beautiful voices. When there is a storm, they sing to the sailors on the ships. "Do not be afraid," they sing. "The bottom of the sea is wonderful." But the sailors do not understand the words. They only hear the wind. When a ship breaks, the people die. They never see the magic castle alive. The Little Mermaid stays home alone. She watches her sisters and feels very sad. She wants to cry, but mermaids have no tears. Because she cannot cry, she feels the pain even more. "I want to be 15, she says. "I know I will love that world and the people there." Finally, it is her 15th birthday. "Now you are an adult," her grandmother says. "Come here, I want to make you beautiful." The grandmother puts a crown of white lilies on the Little Mermaid's head. Each flower is made of pearls. The grandmother also puts 8 oysters on the princess's tail. "It hurts," says the Little Mermaid. "You must suffer to be beautiful," the grandmother answers. "Goodbye," the Little Mermaid says. She swims up quickly and light, like a bubble. When her head comes out of the water, the sun is already gone. But the sky is still beautiful with gold and pink colours. The evening star is bright in the sky. The air is fresh and the sea is very quiet. She sees a big ship with 3 masts. There is no wind, so the ship does not move. Sailors sit on the ropes. She hears music and songs from the ship. When it gets dark, the sailors light hundreds of colourful lamps. It looks like many international flags in the air. The Little Mermaid swims to a cabin window. When the waves lift her up, she looks inside through the glass. She sees many people in beautiful clothes. But the most handsome person is a young prince. He has big black eyes. He is about 16 years old. It is the prince's birthday. Everyone is happy. The sailors dance on the deck. When the prince walks outside, hundreds of rockets fly into the sky. Everything is very bright. The Little Mermaid is afraid and she dives under the water. But soon she looks up again. The rockets look like falling stars from the sky. The Little Mermaid watches the ship. But soon the weather becomes terrible. The clouds are black. There is bright lightning in the sky. A great storm begins. The waves are very big, like black mountains. The wind is strong. The ship moves up and down. Suddenly, the ship breaks. It is very dark. The Little Mermaid sees pieces of wood in the water. She must be careful. She looks for the prince. She sees him in the deep water. At first, she is happy. He is coming to my home. But then she remembers. People cannot live under the water. They die. No, he must not die, she thinks. She swims between the pieces of wood. She dives deep and swims high. Finally, she finds the prince. He is very tired. His eyes are closed. The Little Mermaid holds his head above the water. She lets the waves carry them. In the morning, the storm is over. The ship is gone. The sun is red and warm. The Little Mermaid kisses the prince's forehead. He looks like the statue in my garden, she thinks. Please stay alive. She sees the land. There are high mountains with white snow. She sees a green forest and a big white building. In the garden, there are lemon trees and tall palms. She swims to the beach. She puts the prince on the white sand. She makes sure his head is in the warm sun. Then she hears bells from the big building. Some young girls come into the garden. The Little Mermaid hides behind a rock in the water. She covers her hair with sea foam. She waits and watches the prince. Soon, a young girl comes to the beach. She finds the prince. At first, she is afraid, but then she calls for help. The prince opens his eyes. He smiles at the girl. He does not smile at the Little Mermaid because he does not know her. He does not know she saved his life. The Little Mermaid is very sad. She swims back to her father's castle. She is very quiet now. Her sisters ask, "What did you see?" But she says nothing. Many times she swims back to the beach. She sees the fruit grow and she sees the snow melt on the mountains. But she does not see the prince. She becomes even sadder. She sits in her dark garden and holds her marble statue. She forgets her flowers. The garden becomes a wild forest. Finally, she tells her secret to one sister. Soon, all the sisters know. One mermaid says, "I know where the prince lives. I saw his kingdom." "Come with us, little sister," the other princesses say. They hold hands and swim to the prince's palace. The palace is made of bright yellow stone. It has large marble stairs that go down into the sea. There are gold domes on the roof and beautiful statues between the columns. Inside, through the glass windows, the Little Mermaid sees silk curtains and beautiful paintings. In the middle of a big room, there is a fountain. The water flies high to the ceiling. Now the Little Mermaid knows where the prince lives. She swims there often at night. She swims through a narrow canal under a marble balcony. She watches the prince. He thinks he is alone in the moonlight. Sometimes the prince goes on a boat with music and flags. The Little Mermaid hides in the green plants. If people see her white veil, they think, "Look, it is a white swan." At night, she hears fishermen talking. They say, "The prince is a very good man." The Little Mermaid is happy because she saved him. She remembers his head on her chest and her kiss. But the prince does not know anything about her. The Little Mermaid loves the world of people more and more. Their world is so big. They have ships, high mountains, and green fields. She has many questions, so she goes to her grandmother. "Do people live forever?" the Little Mermaid asks. "No," the grandmother answers. "They die too. Their life is shorter than ours. We can live for 300 years, but when we die, we become sea foam on the water. We do not have a soul. We are like the green plants. When you cut them, they do not grow again." "I want to be a human," the Little Mermaid says sadly. "I want to have a soul." "You must not think about that," the grandmother says. "We are happier here." "But is there a way to become a human?" the princess asks. "Only one way," says the grandmother. "A human must love you more than his father and mother. He must promise to be with you forever. But this is impossible. People think your beautiful fishtail is ugly. They like to have 2 legs." The Little Mermaid looks at her tail and sighs. She is very sad. "Be happy," says the grandmother. "Tonight we have a big ball in the castle." The ball is wonderful. You cannot see such beauty on land. The walls and the ceiling are made of clear glass. Hundreds of large shells lie along the walls. Inside the shells, there are blue fires. The light shines through the glass walls and into the sea. Many fish swim to the windows. Some fish are red and some are gold or silver. They are all beautiful. At the ball, everyone sings and dances. The Little Mermaid has the most beautiful voice in the world. For a moment, she is happy. But then she thinks about the prince. I love him more than my father and mother, she thinks. I want to be with him. I will go to the sea witch. I am afraid, but she can help me. The Little Mermaid leaves the castle and swims to a dark place. There are no flowers here. There is only grey sand. The water moves in big, dangerous circles. This is the way to the witch's house. Next, she swims through a forest of monsters. They look like trees, but they are like snakes. They have long, slimy arms and fingers like worms. They catch everything: white bones of dead people, parts of ships, and even small animals. They hold them tight and never let them go. The Little Mermaid is very afraid. Her heart beats fast. She wants to go back, but she thinks of the prince. She ties her long hair so the monsters cannot catch it. She swims very fast, like a fish. The monsters try to catch her, but they cannot. Finally, she comes to a dirty place with big water snakes. In the middle, there is the sea witch's house. The sea witch lives in a house made of bones. She is ugly and scary. I know what you want, the witch says. You want to have legs. You want the prince to love you. This is a bad idea, but I can help you. The witch tells the Little Mermaid the rules. Go to the beach and drink this. Your tail will change into 2 legs. It will be very beautiful, but it will hurt. It will feel like a sharp knife in your body. Every step you take will be painful. You can never be a mermaid again. You can never go home to the sea. If the prince marries another woman, your heart will break. You will die and become sea foam on the water. I am ready, says the Little Mermaid. She is as white as death. But you must pay me, the witch says. You have the best voice. Give it to me. I want your voice and I want your tongue. But if I cannot speak, how can the prince love me? The princess asks. You have a beautiful face and beautiful eyes, the witch answers. That is enough. The witch makes the magic drink with her own black blood. The drink looks like clear water. Then she cuts the Little Mermaid's tongue. Now the princess is silent. She cannot speak and she cannot sing. The Little Mermaid takes the drink and swims away. The monsters in the dark forest are afraid of the magic drink because it shines like a star. She swims past the forest and the sand, back to her home for the last time. The Little Mermaid looks at her father's castle for the last time. The lights are out. Everyone is sleeping. She is very sad because she cannot say goodbye. She is now silent. She visits her sister's gardens, takes some flowers, and swims up to the surface. The moon is bright when she arrives at the prince's palace, She sits on the marble stairs and drinks the magic liquid. Suddenly, she feels a terrible pain, like a sharp sword in her body. She falls down and sleeps like a dead person. When the sun rises, she wakes up. The pain is still there, but a handsome young man is standing in front of her. It is the prince. He looks at her with his dark eyes. The little mermaid looks down at her body. She does not have a tail anymore. She has 2 small white legs. She is naked, so she covers herself with her long hair. "Who are you? Where are you from?" the prince asks. The little mermaid looks at him with her blue eyes. She is kind, but sad. She cannot speak. The prince takes her hand and leads her into the castle. Every step is very painful. It feels like walking on sharp knives. But the little mermaid is brave. She walks with the prince, and her movement is light, like air. Inside the castle, she wears beautiful silk clothes. Everyone says she is the most beautiful girl in the world. But she is silent. One evening, young women sing for the prince and his parents. They have good voices. The prince smiles and claps his hands. The little mermaid thinks, "Oh, I had a much better voice. I gave it away to be with him." Then the women start to dance. The little mermaid begins to dance too. She is more beautiful than anyone else. She moves like a bird. Her eyes tell a story to the prince's heart. Everyone is happy, and the prince calls her his little foundling. She dances again and again, even when her feet feel like they are on sharp knives. The prince wants the little mermaid to be with him always. She even sleeps on a soft velvet pillow near his door. The prince gives her boy's clothes so she can ride horses with him. They ride through the green forests. The trees are beautiful, and small birds sing in the leaves. They climb high mountains. Every step hurts, and her feet bleed, but the little mermaid smiles. She follows the prince to the top, above the clouds. At night, when everyone in the palace is sleeping, the little mermaid goes down to the sea. She puts her painful feet in the cold water. She thinks about her home. One night, her sisters swim to her. They hold hands and sing sad songs. They tell her, "We are very sad without you." After that night, the sisters come every evening. Sometimes the little mermaid sees her old grandmother and the Sea King. They stay far away in the deep water, but they stretch their hands to her. Every day, the prince loves her more, but he loves her like a sweet child. He does not think, "I want to marry her." But the little mermaid knows the rule. She must be his wife, or she will die. When the prince kisses her forehead, her eyes ask, "Do you love me most in the world?" But she cannot speak the words. "You are very dear to me," the prince says to the little mermaid. "You have a good heart. You are like the girl who saved my life after the storm. I saw her only once, and I can never see her again. She lives in a temple, a holy house. But you are here with me. We will never be apart." The little mermaid thinks, "Oh, he doesn't know. It was me. I saved him. I held him in the water. I took him to the beach near the temple. I saw that girl too. He loves her, but she lives in the temple. I am here with him every day. I will love him and give him my whole life. But soon, people start to talk. The prince must marry a princess from a neighbour kingdom. The king and queen want the prince to see her. They prepare a big, beautiful ship for the journey. The prince says to the Little Mermaid, "I must go. My parents want me to see the princess, but I cannot love her. She is not like the girl from the temple. If I must choose a wife, I will choose you, my silent friend." He kisses her and plays with her long hair. The Little Mermaid is happy for a moment, but she is also afraid. She knows the prince's heart better than anyone. The prince and the Little Mermaid are on a big ship. "Are you afraid of the sea?" the prince asks. He tells her stories about the ocean. The Little Mermaid smiles because she knows the sea better than anyone. At night, she sees her grandmother and her sisters in the water. They are very sad, but the Little Mermaid waves to them. Finally, they arrive at the new kingdom. There are bells, music, and soldiers with flags. Everyone is waiting for the princess. She lived in a holy temple for many years to study. When the princess arrives, she is very beautiful. She has blue eyes and a kind smile. The prince looks at her and cries, "It is you! You saved me on the beach!" The prince is very happy. He tells the Little Mermaid, "I am the luckiest man in the world. You are my friend, so you are happy for me too." The Little Mermaid kisses his hand, but her heart is breaking. The prince's wedding day will be her last day. The wedding is very grand. There is gold, silk, and music. The Little Mermaid holds the princess's dress during the ceremony. But she does not hear the music. She does not see the gold. She thinks about her last night and the sea foam. That evening, everyone goes to the ship. There is a beautiful tent of gold and purple for the prince and his new wife. The ship moves quietly on the water. The sailors dance and light colourful lamps. The Little Mermaid starts to dance too. She dances like a bird. Everyone watches her. She remembers her first time on the surface. But today is different. She is dancing her last dance. The party on the ship continues until midnight. The Little Mermaid dances and laughs, but she is very sad. This is her last night. She looks at the prince and his new wife. They are happy and go to their tent to sleep. The ship becomes quiet. The Little Mermaid stands near the water and waits for the sun. She knows, when the sun rises, I will die. Suddenly, she sees her sisters in the water. They are very pale. Their long hair is gone. "We gave our hair to the sea witch," they say. "She gave us this magic knife. Look, it is very sharp. You must kill the prince before the sun rises. If his warm blood touches your feet, You will become a mermaid again. You will live for 300 years. Hurry, kill him, or you will die." They give her the knife and disappear in the dark water. The little mermaid goes into the tent. She sees the prince and his wife. She kisses the prince's forehead. She looks at the sky. The pink light of the morning is coming. She looks at the sharp knife. The prince speaks his wife's name in his sleep. He loves her. The little mermaid cannot kill him. She throws the knife into the sea. The water becomes red where the knife falls. She looks at the prince for the last time and jumps into the cold ocean. She feels her body becoming sea foam. But she does not die. The sun rises, and its light is warm and kind. The little mermaid sees hundreds of beautiful, transparent beings in the air. They have sweet, soft voices. "Where am I?" she asks. Her voice is now beautiful and light. "You are with the daughters of the air," they answer. "We do not have a soul, but we do good things. We fly to hot countries and give them cool air. We carry the smell of flowers. We help people." "Little mermaid," the daughters of the air say, "you have a kind heart. You suffered and you loved. Now come with us to the world above the clouds." The little mermaid looks at the sun. For the first time in her life, she feels hot tears in her eyes. She is crying and she is happy. On the ship, life begins again. The prince and his wife are looking for the little mermaid. They look at the sea foam with sad eyes. They think she is gone forever. The little mermaid is invisible now. She kisses the princess on her forehead and smiles at the prince. Then she flies up with the other daughters of the air into a beautiful pink cloud in the sky.